My name's Lionel. I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We're covering the Loved and the Heartless. Covering all these week's episodes, which we also have a season finale for season 2. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video. You can also subscribe and share and leave your comments below. Let's get into these week's episodes. Okay, so Jabari, he goes visits his dad. His dad is a pastor. It looks like he just got done with his sermon, and Jabari does commend him on a good sermon and all that. I guess the message was about grace, and he says, Jabari, I need some grace today. And then the pastor said, well, you do have grace. You've already have it through Jesus Christ. He's like, yeah, but can we not be that spiritual? And I'm paraphrasing right now. He then begins to tell what he's been dealing with. The things that has been going on between Raheem and Cabral. Of course, he never gives up the names and all that good stuff. But one who is really flaking on him. I really like him, but he doesn't really want to be attached to me like I want him to be attached to me. And then the other one I recently found out was married. And of course, he had to go over that these were people that were men that he was dealing with like that. Jabari says that I like him so much, talking about Raheem, that I was willing to do things that I don't want to do just to be with him. Then we get a flashback. And remember on last week when Raheem was saying, come join in and do this threesome thing. He did it. And we see Raheem in bed. He's up. And then you see Raheem sleep. And the waiter wrapped and hugged up with him. I would have... Oh, Jabari is better than I. But really, I wouldn't do it. It would be in my head to really do it. But I promise I would light that mattress on fire. What do you mean he's hugged up with you, Raheem? He just got here. I've been here forever and a day. And then you get this type of privilege? Absolutely not. So, of course, Jabari is feeling away towards all of that, especially with him doing stuff that he thought would please this man that does not return the same affection and feelings and love that he does have for him. Then Jabari says, I know what you're going to tell me, what the Bible says. And then the pastor was like, no, I'm not. And he says, Jabari, are you all right? I said, now that is something that is not popular, especially for someone that is in homosexual situations or relationship or marriage, that a black pastor is really going to be a father outside of just preaching the gospel out of this Bible and making sure that you know that homosexuality is a sin per the Bible. But anyways, Jabari says, I'm tired. And he says, I'm afraid that I'm going to spend the rest of my life alone. And the pastor says, I want to let you know that you have us. You have your family. And he says that my love for you will never waver. I thought it was beautiful. That's something that we don't see. That's something we don't see. All we see is a lot of bigotry. All we see is a lot of hatred. It's just like this learned behavior of hatred of something that don't even affect you. But you have hatred and then just clothe it with God and the Bible. And you think that you're okay. You think that it's fine that God allows you to treat people with hate. But that's not God. This pastor, this father, has shown the right way in even loving someone, even if what Jabari is involved in and what is he doing doesn't totally line up with what the Bible says. I loved it, and I'm glad that we got a different depiction of it instead of what we normally see. Episode 2, Ashley and Kwame. They're having sex, and then they finally come up for air. He's got to go into the office. And then Ashley's like, now, wait. He said he got to go into the office, and it's pitch black at night. And he gives this excuse of, he's with these investors and all that stuff. And he's got to do it. Ashley's cheering him on about, oh, he's finally in the place that he wants to be career-wise, and she's just so proud of him. Look at my man who's still not my man, but look at my man who was my man, but not still my man, but pretending to be your man. Kwame gets home, and Carrie's like this. And then she follows him with her eyes. As he says, sorry, I was home later than what I was supposed to. The investors who are giving the money want to be on the inside of everything that's going on. And then Carrie says, like you being inside of Ashley? What? And Carrie said, cut the cameras. Are you sleeping with her? Sleeping with who? With Ashley. As I said before, you heard me the first time, Ninja. He said something about, are you going through my phone? I think that was a little bit later. But anyways, Carrie says, like, when we first started talking, you would go on and on about your biggest regret was how you ruined your relationship with Ashley. And when we got together, you told me you would never do to me what you did to her. And Kwame gonna say, and I still mean that. Then why are you sneaking around behind my back having sex with her? And that's what he said, are you going through my phone? And she said, I don't have to. I'm not stupid. I know that once you got back into town, you would somehow find your way back to her. I thought I meant enough to you that you would at least be honest. So then I had to pump the brakes right there. So, Carrie, you knew that there was a possibility and a chance that Kwame would just go run back to Ashley once y'all moved back into town. So, with him being honest, are you saying that you're approving because he's honest with you about it? Yikes. And then Kwame says, you do mean enough. More than enough. Let's jump all the way to Thursday or Friday. Not yet, but I'm going to get there. Because Kwame, he says there's nothing more important to me right now than you and our baby. You mean right now at whatever time it is, 11:59 p.m.? Because you know, when you get up in the morning, you won't be thinking about Ashley. That won't be right then. That's right after. And then I don't have to actually... Ugh. Okay. So then Carrie said, tell me the truth. Are you sleeping with Ashley? He says, yes. And then Carrie asked, are you in love with her? That was the end of the episode. Wednesday. Ashley's at the office. And she's messaging and just so lost in whatever she is. Just all lovey-dovey with this Kwame dude. And Demetria asks you, like, what are you doing? Oh, nothing. But anyways, Demetria clocked it that Ashley's just so wrapped up in this dude, Kwame. Demetria said, why are you still dealing with that dusty cheater, Kwame? You're setting yourself up for him to do what he did to you the last time. And then Ashley just saying, it's different this time. And Demetria said, how? We promised each other that we would be completely honest and transparent. And you think that he's being honest and transparent with you? And she said, yes. How? Because I know his heart. And Ashley, you are just like Drew Sidora's song. You must be delusional. But yeah. But anyways, then Demetria said, so why is he sleeping with Carrie? The next episode, Ashley says, I must be glitching. Or maybe I'm hard of hearing. You said something to the effect, Kwame is sleeping with Carrie? Like that is just so out of reach. Like that's not Kwame's character. Like that's not why you two were not together and not married. And Demetria said, that's exactly what I said. And then Ashley said that this must be a comedy routine. And Demetria said, do it look like I'm telling you any jokes on the stage? They are sleeping together and she's having his baby. And then Ashley said, You're just saying this because you don't like him. Demetria said, I don't like him. I despise him. But even if I wasn't of dislike of him, the truth is that I'm telling you the truth. So then how long have you known this? Since Carrie told me. That's not saying how long, Demetria. So why are you choosing to do this to me? And then Demetria's like, I'm not doing anything. Kwame is. Hello? You're supposed to be my friend. I am. That's why I told you to stay away from him. No, you're just trying to cover your tracks. And then Demetria said, you're just delusional. The energy that you got right now is how you should be giving it to your transparent man. So the Demetria leaves, and then Ashley has a little crash out scene, throwing whatever she had on her desk. All I gotta say is you're so mad at Demetria, you act like you just cannot fathom that the one that's been a cheater, that has not promised you anything outside of the sex that you got, he hasn't had to work for anything to come back into your life. And you're just like acting like he's nothing of a cheater. Like he can't do that. There's no way possible that he could ever cheat. All I've seen him come is to get sex from you. I ain't seen you go on no dates. I mean, at least Carrie went to a restaurant with poorly lit lighting. She got that, and she got a baby. Whatever. I really can't stand Ashley. She's the top. She's top. Because you're just crazy, and you just like you like where you're at in life with this dude that is complete trash. All right, so Nia gets a call from the maintenance man. He's trying to get a hold of Cabral, but he's not answering. And he tells her that he's not going to be able to fix the water pressure at one of the rental properties on a street that he named. And Nia says, okay, I'll let him know in regards to that. Nia checks the computer as far as the properties that they have or whatever. And she was like, I knew I wasn't crazy. Because the property is not even being rented, so what's up? Nia ends up going over there and walks upstairs to the room and sees Cabral getting serviced. And then, of course, at that point, Nia makes a noise. And the man pops up from up under the covers. I said, ain't that some messy crap? Now, one, Cabral, you that's so lost in what you was getting done to you that you didn't hear this lady who did not take off her shoes. She still had some heels on. She opened the door and all of that, and you didn't hear none of that? Anyways, he's calling out to Nia to come back, and she's gone. And he tells the dude, you might as well finish. He said, let's go all the way. All right, so the ending episode 5, Cabral finds Nina at the house, or Nia. He says, I can explain. She don't want no explanation. Can we talk about this? No. We can go to therapy. I want a divorce. And then he said, no, you don't. What do you mean? Well, if you want a divorce, you know that there's a clause in the prenup that if you divorce me, you divorce this business. So, of course, that stalls her in her tracks and changes her mood. So what's it going to be? Nia, I think you can start all over. This business means that much to you? Whatever. Kwame and Ashley. Kwame goes over to Ashley's house, and Ashley's got this stank attitude. Hey, babe, as she answers the door. She leaves the door open, and she goes over to the fire mantle thing, acting so pitiful and mad and all that. What's wrong? She says, is there someone else? What? Are you sleeping with Carrie? He finally had to say yes. But you know, this was before. I got with her beforehand because he also admitted that he's having a baby with her. I never thought that I ever had a chance. I mean, all she did is kiss you. All he had to do is run into her, and then the next time she had to get these unresolved stuff out of the way, she kissed you and the clothes fell off. You asked, was there, then Kwame gonna flip it around and said, you asked if there was someone else, and the answer is no. Because it's never been no one else. It's always been you. Stupid. That is so crazy. So this dude has been, in his way of explaining things, I was just hooking up with Carrie. I got her pregnant. And that's not alarming to Ashley whatsoever. Because yet again, y'all went back to the normal schedule of y'all having sex. Because he says, there's been nobody but you. Not thinking whatsoever. Just like Simone was walking around Toya on Married to Medicine. Because you don't think. You don't think. Like, how is this worse than what Raheem was doing to you? Because he was dating a guy. You thought it was the worst thing in the world, but he's knocking up random women. You got baby mama drama, or at least potential baby mama drama on your hands, and you're willing to deal with it. Trash. So Demetria goes by Carrie and says, Ashley knows. And Carrie knew, she knew it was going to happen eventually. But she says, that's okay. I'm getting everything I want from Kwame. First, his baby. Next, his money. Then you seen that little crazy look in her. I said, oh, plot twist. And Carrie, I said, get it. Get the money. Do whatever you got to do to him. Destroy, burn it all down. But get the money. Put it into trust. For him to never, ever touch. I don't care what you do. But I think that you were well aware that Kwame was going to run back to Ashley eventually anyways. But I don't even care because of how Kwame wants to show up in life to Ashley. And I don't even care if Ashley gets hurt. She's been warned and she don't care. So that's how it is as far as with the season finale. I think they're going to resume filming for season 3 in the next couple weeks. I can't wait until 2026 to see what season 3 brings. Does Jabari grow up? Does the love from his family help him to make better decisions? What do you think is going to happen at this point? Is Nia going to get a spine and just leave and start all over with her life? Or allow this DL dude to run her life? Because he doesn't know how to be honest about what he's got going on. Y'all let me know. Do you think it's fair what Carrie's doing right now? You think that Kwame and Ashley should be together? They deserve each other because she obviously doesn't care. But anyways, that's all I got. Thank you, Mr. Carlton T. Clay, for another great season. To the cast and crew, thank you. And until the next one, first, like, comment, share, subscribe. And until the next one, peace.